Hey there, this is Akshay Madan and welcome back to a new video. This video is going to be super exciting because we are going to make 3 fintech projects. So if you're a software engineer, but you also have some soft side in your heart for investment banking and stock market, then this video is for you because we are going to build 3 fintech projects. That means we are going to work with a stock list. We are going to work with some portfolio value. We are going to find out which stock you should buy, which stock you should not buy using our favorite Python programming language. So this video is exciting for those who love both tech plus finance. So if you are also one of those guys, stay tuned with me. Now without wasting more time, let's get started. So let's start with the first project, guys. So in the first project, which is going to be very simple. So what we have to do is you have to create a Python model, not a machine learning model, but a simple Python model, or we can also call it as a Python script, which takes a portfolio value. That means if let's say you have 1 lakh rupees or 100,000 rupees to invest in stocks, right? So it will take that amount and it has to give me the number of shares that I can buy for all the stocks that I've provided to it. Let me draw a diagram. It will make this understanding very, easier. So if I just put a heading, project 1, which is called equal weights, and yes, this is a algorithmic trading strategy, but this is so simple that maybe like you can definitely use it, but it may not work out right that well. So equal weights, but this is a good project to start. Okay, so this is a project 1, equal weights. So what you will be given, you will be given a portfolio value, right? So input will be portfolio value, and let's say this portfolio value is 100,000 INR. INR is Indian National Rupees, right? So INR. So let's say you have this amount to invest in stocks, and you will also be provided with the list of stocks. So list of stocks, which can be a user input also. That means user can also put some list of famous stocks list, right? It can be S&P 500, right? S&P 500 means the top 500 companies of USA. So S&P 500. It can also be, if you know, Nifty 50, that means 50 companies of India, top 50 companies of India, right? Which are already listed in NSE, National Stock Exchange, right? So Nifty 50, it can be given. So these are like some set of stocks which are quite famous, right? These lists are quite famous, right? S&P 500 is quite famous, and Nifty 50 is quite famous in India, right? So what you have to do, you will be given this list, and you have to, let's say now you come up with 1 lakh rupees. Any user comes up with 1 lakh rupees, and he says, I want to equally invest this amount in all of the stocks of this list, right? Let's make it a bit more simple, right? So let's say you start with let's say we don't take 500. S&P 500 are top 500 companies of USA. Nifty 50 is 50 companies of top 50 companies of India. Okay, so let's say we come up with 5 stocks only. Let's forget Nifty 50 and S&P 500 for some time. Okay, so let's say we come up with 5 stocks. Let's say we take SBI, that is State Bank of India stock. Let's say we take Tata Power. Let's say we take Reliance. Let's say we take Vedanta, and let's say we take Zomato. Okay, so these are like some good Indian stocks, right? Now a user comes up with 1 lakh rupees and he says, I want to equally invest in these 5 stocks. Equally invest. So that means he is going to invest 20,000 rupees in all of these stocks. So SBI's total investment will be 20,000 rupees. Tata Power's total investment will be 20,000 rupees. Like this, Reliance, Vedanta and Zomato will also have 20,000 rupees because we divided 100,000 by the number of stocks that I want to invest in. Okay, super simple to understand. Now, what I want to find out from this Python model, what this Python script is going to do, right? So Python script will take a portfolio value, will take a list of stocks, and finally, it is going to give me the number of shares that I can buy for each of these stocks if I have this portfolio value. Okay, that means let's say SBI. So SBI, if we go on Yahoo Finance, which we are going to use very much in this whole video, if we go and search SBIN.NS, NS means National Stock Exchange. So it can also be BO, that is Bombay Stock Exchange. Both are Indian stock exchanges. Okay, so if I go and search this SBIN.NS, you can see this is the stock price, latest stock price of State Bank of India, right? That means the number of shares which I'm going to get of SBI, right, in 20,000 rupees can be X, or it can be like 20,000. That means my total amount which I'm going to invest upon the latest price, which is 861. Okay. Similarly, if I go on Yahoo Finance again and if I search for Tata Power.ns, you can see the stock price is 428 rupees, right? So I'm going to get the number of shares of Tata Power which I can get for 100,000 total portfolio value will be 20,000 divided by 428, right? So I can see the number of shares for every stock will be different. That's what I want to find out. Over here I just took 5 stocks. I can do manually also. But let's say you go ahead with S&P 500. Then how can you find out how many shares of Amazon you will get, how many shares of Google you will get, how many shares of Microsoft you will get, right? So it is going to generate a proper table which will show me the stock name, it will show me the current price, and it will show me the number of shares that I can buy if my total portfolio value is X. Okay, so this is a simple Python project that we have to create. Let's do that. So in my windows, like in my folders, I have created a very empty, I've created an empty folder which is called Fintech Projects. You can also create it. Now I'm going to open this folder in VS Code. So CMD, then code dot, and it will open VS Code. Okay, so you can see it is empty. Now this is my first project, so I'll create a file which I'm going to name it as 01 equal weights, because we are going to distribute our portfolio equally. Equal weights dot IPYNB. So I'm not opening Jupyter Notebook in my browser. I'm just opening Jupyter Notebook in my VS Code itself. Okay, so you can see Jupyter Notebook is created over here. I can create a markdown and I can just write equal weight strategy. Okay, equal weight strategy, because we are going to distribute our portfolio equally among the stocks. Okay, great. Now first thing that I have to do, I have to import some packages, right? So we are going to heavily use pandas as PD, NumPy as NP. We are going to use Yahoo Finance for fetching the latest price of stocks. So Y Finance as YF. Then I'm going to use math. Okay, so let me select a kernel. Yeah, it is over here, Python 3.12.4. Okay, sorry, I wrote it in markdown cell itself. So let me create a code cell, paste it, shift enter, and no model name panda. So I'm not going to pause my video anywhere I'm getting an error. We'll just solve it together. So you can also create a virtual environment. You can also use Conda for managing your virtual environments, but I'm using the global environment itself, which is globally installed in my system. So you can also install Python in your system, and then you can globally use the environment, right? Or you can also create a virtual environment. That is up to you. Pip install pandas. So till it is installing, let me drink some water. So you can see pandas is installed successfully. Now next thing that we need is, so if I hit enter, let's see what we get. Y Finance. So let's install Y Finance. So pip3 install Y Finance. Could not install packages due to an OS error, permission denied, Python 3.12 script speed wiz.py. So let's try again. Pip3 install Y Finance -- user. It should work now. Okay, it is working. So let's go ahead and let's hit this cell again. Yes, now it has worked. So we have imported pandas, NumPy, Y Finance, and math. Okay, next thing that we have to do is we have to load our set of stocks that I want to work with, right? So I want to work with Nifty 50 stocks. Okay, so as I explained you over here, that we have to work with a list of stocks that we want to distribute money. Okay, So what I've done is in my documents, I already have this list of stocks. Okay, so let me open it up in VS Code itself. So I'll just drag it and bring it over here and paste it over here, right? So this is a CSV file, and if I just go in my extensions and CSV viewer, Excel viewer, just install it. Okay, now if I just open my CSV again, okay, still not working, so I'll go back over here. I think there is a package data preview. It should work with, yes, this should work. Yes, so you can see using the extension I was able to showcase you my CSV in a better way. So you can see we have two columns, ticker and the company name, ticker and the company name. So basically these are Nifty 50 stocks. This is like 50 stocks list, and you can see all the Nifty 50 stocks are there in this list. So Reliance, Reliance.ns is the ticker, right? So basically ticker is not this one on the National Stock Exchange. I've used this ticker because Yahoo Finance needs it in this format. Okay, that's why. So now let me close this. Let me close this. And over here, I'm going to import this CSV using pandas. Okay, so tickers is equal to pd.read CSV tickers.csv, but my CSV name, let me copy, let me come back over here, let me paste it, not like this, top 50 Indian, top 50 Indian stocks.csv, and over here I'll say tickers dot. Here you can see, I think this is some my local issue itself. It's maybe loading right now, but yeah, you can see the tickers are here and company name is also here. Okay, great. Now the next thing that I have to do is just for sake of simplicity and understanding, I'll just say load the stocks list. Okay, this is my second step. Great. Now the next thing that we have to do is we have to write a script. Okay, so in the script, what I'm going to write, I'm going to write a function, so def, which is going to load the market cap of these list. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the market cap and I'm going to sort these tickers latest price with the market cap. Okay, let's say from this 50 I just want to pick top 10 with respect to market cap. I can pick that, right? So that's why I'm going to fetch the market cap using Y Finance, and then I'm going to do the rest of the work. So def fetch market cap. Okay, so this is a function, and this function is going to take a ticker. Ticker means this value it is going to take, and for this basically it is going to take the tickers list itself, and inside this function I'm going to run a for loop, right? So I'm going to fetch the data. So data is going to be YF, that is Yahoo Finance, the download. So instead of just running a for loop and fetching ticker by ticker, you can, ticker means this. Okay, for anyone who is new to finance, ticker means this ticker, the stock name, which is, that's how it is referenced on stock exchanges. Okay, so this is ticker. So download ticker list. So you can directly provide this function Yahoo Finance or download a ticker list, and it will fetch all the data for all of these stocks. So ticker list, and what's the period that you want to define? 1 day. So period is 1 day. I don't want to fetch the historic data, so I just want to get 1 day data because I just want the latest price. That's why this will be 1 day. And group by, it will group by ticker, right? So this is done, and then auto adjust false. So these are some of the some of the tunings that I'm doing. Not hyper parameters, but auto adjust will be false. These are just the normal parameters. Okay, you can just play with them. Okay, for now, let's just see what we have got. So I'll just say data. Okay, let's see what we get, and let me call this. First of all, this is a data frame, so I want to get the list out of this ticker so that I can provide to this function. So what I'm going to do, tickers list is equal to, and guys, when I'm teaching, you can also if you are facing any issues, if you want anything else, you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The channels and the links are in the description. Tickers list is equal to tickers, that's a data frame, at ticker which is a column name, ticker, I want to make it a list. So dot values dot to list. Okay, and fetch market cap tickers list. Hit enter. Let's see what we get. We should get let me print this. Let's see what we get. Yeah, so you can see you are getting all the data, and definitely it is not showing me everything because this will be like a very huge JSONs and data. So it is not showing me everything, but I can see I've got some data: open, high, low, close values. That means on that day, on the last day, JSW Steel opened at 995 rupees, high was 100,000 rupees, 1,003 rupees, low was 973 rupees, closing was at 999 rupees. Adjusted closes 999.84 rupees, and volume is this much. So I've got the important data for every stocks from this 50 stocks list. Great. Next thing what I have to do? What I have to do is I'll run in this tickers list, right? And I'll fetch the latest price and I'll fetch the market cap of that stock. Okay, so for ticker, in my tickers list, what I'm going to do is latest price is equal to data at ticker. That means go inside the data that I've got from Yahoo Finance and fetch the closing price. Closing price is your ticker at ticker, basically, because I'm just referencing this variable. Ticker at ticker at the closing value, right? Closing value, and this will again be some array or some data frame array basically. So you can just say location at -1. That means the last value I want to fetch it, because this is actually going to be a row, right? And from that row you just want to fetch the last value. That will be your the last closing price, basically. Okay, so this is your latest price. Next thing that you want to get is market cap. Market cap is equal to data at ticker. That means reference that ticker which I am getting in that loop for this iteration. And so basically, for getting the market cap, this is not enough. You will not get the market cap in this call itself. You have to say yf dot ticker. So basically, I also have the documentation of Yahoo Finance with me. You can also go ahead and just read their PyPy package documentation. You will also see how I'm getting the right function. So you can see Yahoo Finance Python. Go over here and you can actually read the documentation from this page. Okay, so all the documentation are over here, and you can actually read it. Okay, so you can see ticker is there, single ticker data, tickers are there, download function we already used. So like this you can actually research on this, right? This is your homework. Now I'm using the ticker function so that it gives me the information of one ticker. So Yahoo Finance ticker, which ticker? Ticker which I am referencing in the iteration. From this info dot get, I want to fetch the market cap. Market cap. If it is not found, you can take null value. So n/a, that is not applicable. Okay, so this is my market cap. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to also maintain a list, stocks data list. Put these values into this list as an object. So stocks data dot append. Yeah, this will be like a object, key value pairs, so that I can convert this dictionary list of dictionaries into a data frame later. Ticker ticker will be ticker, market cap will be market cap, and latest price will be latest price. Okay, now I can convert this. I can use pandas data frame series function, and I can get a stocks data frame, stocks df, or I can directly use pd.dataframe also, pd.dataframe. data frame stocks data and just return this stocks data. Okay, now in this I'm going to get a data frame. So df is equal to fetch market cap and show me the df. Let's see what we get. I hope you have understood it. I've made it like super simple, very simple script, okay, which fetches latest price and market cap. Okay, why only one I'm getting? I think there are some settings that I've done for this kernel df.head. Let me at least get 5 values. No, it is only showing me 1. What's the scene? Okay, sorry, I returned stocks data frame in the for loop itself. See how silly mistakes happen. Okay, now it is good, right? At the end I'm going to convert a data frame, and at the end only I'm going to return it. Now it will give me 5 values, top 5 values. You can see Reliance, TCS, HDFC, Infosys, ICICI, and their market cap is over here and their latest price is over here. If you want to verify, 1272 it is showing over here, right? Go over here and go to Yahoo Finance, search for reliance.ns, and you can see 1272.85, right? 1272.85, right? And if you are coding in the daytime on working day, I'm coding at night, so that's why it is not moving. But if you are coding on a working day and during daytime, this price will keep on fluctuating, right? So whenever you make a new API call, it might change. If you make the API call before 3:30 p.m., right? Because after 3:30 p.m. markets close. Okay, great. This is good. This is cool. Now what I have to do, let me show you all the 50 stocks also. Let me not change this, otherwise it will again fetch from Yahoo Finance, and I don't want to like hit their servers again and again without any use. So let me just hit DF right over here. You can see 50 stocks. You can see all the 50 stocks, and for every stock you can see market cap and latest price. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to sort this data frame as per my market cap. Okay, I think they will automatically be sorted, but I don't think so. Let's do that. So df is equal to df dot sort values on which column. I want to do it on market cap. So by market cap, ascending is false. Reliance still has the maximum market cap, then TCS, then HDFC, then we have Bharti Airtel, then ICICI Bank, and in my previous list, Bharti TCS. Okay, I think it was already no, it was not sorted as per the market cap. So you can see this list and this new list is different. So HDFC has come to the top, 17, 16, 14, 9, 9, 9, 8, 7. Yes, now it is sorted as per the market cap. Good. Now what I'm going to do, I want to get a new column over here and I want to give it some amount. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define my portfolio size. So portfolio size is equal to int input, enter the size of your portfolio, right? Or enter the amount that you want to invest. That I think that makes more sense, right? Enter the amount you want to invest. Okay, great. So this is going to take my portfolio size in an integer format, right? And after that, it is going to find out a position size. Position size will be how many stocks do you want to work with 10 stocks? Let's say, because if you're just working with like 1 lakh rupees, then it will not be able to even buy like one stock of Reliance, right? Or like some of the stocks have higher price also. You can see this Maruti has 11,272 rupees. So if you go with 50, then it will just take 2,000 rupees. That means many of the stocks you won't be able to buy, right? So let's take top 10 now, right? Let's take top 10. So let me put a comment let me put a markdown. That is much better. Taking top 10 stocks as per the market cap. Okay, great. Now, so taking top 10, so df will be my df dot head like this, and I can define 10. So now it is going to take only the top 10 values. Did I change my DF at least? DF, yes, this is correct. Now it has, I can actually show to you. So you can see it now only has the 10 values. The index is different. So df dot this, df dot reset index, reset index, and now I can show you df. What's the mistake? Drop is true, in place is true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I did not do either. I write these parameters, or I can remove these parameters, and I can say df is equal to df dot reset index and then df. So you can see my index is changed, and I don't want the previous index. So what I can say in place is true, and drop is true. Drop means it will remove the previous index column. So in place is true, drop is true. Now I can just remove this and do like this. Okay, now it is changed. So I need to like run that again so that it, you know, takes, it gives me the latest data frame, which is only having one index column, not two. Okay. I'll do it. Okay. Position size. Position size will be my portfolio size. My portfolio size divide by the length of df dot index, right? So df dot index dot length that will be 10. Portfolio size is 1 lakh, so 10,000 rupees per stock. Right, 10,000 rupees per stock. You can see 20,000 by 861. That means not this one. I have to find out 20,000 for now, right? I am finding 20,000. So 20,000, how did I find? 100,000. That means my portfolio value divided by the number of stocks, right? So over here, my number of stocks are 10. So that's why I'm doing length of df dot index, portfolio size, right? Now I'll print position size. Position size. Let's hit enter. Enter the amount that you want to invest. I want to invest 1 lakh, that is 100,000. Hit enter. You can see 10,000 is my position size. That means in every stock I'm going to invest 10,000 rupees. Okay. Now next thing that I have to do, I have to add another column in my data frame that will say number of shares. So df at number of shares to buy is equal to df at latest price. Let me disable Copilot because it is disturbing us. So df at number of shares to buy, which is a new column I'm creating, and it should be created like this. I'm going to use lambda functions in Python. So what I'm going to do, number of shares will be calculated like the total amount that you are investing, that is position size, right, divide by the latest price. Okay, so I have to apply this lambda function on the price column, right, because that will be the value that will be used in this lambda function. So df at latest price dot apply a lambda. So lambda, let's call this value as price. So it is going to go in the latest price and it will pick a price, that means the latest price, and price mat.floor let me take it to next line. Mat.floor, the value will be position size divide by my price, right? So similarly we did over here, I took the position size, which is 20,000, and I divided it by my latest price, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. Now let's see df. Great, we have got it. You can see for Reliance, market cap, latest price, and 7 shares I can buy in 10,000 rupees. TCS 4473, and 2 shares only I can buy in 10,000 rupees. Okay, so I think after doing all of this, you will definitely be left with some amount, because you can see 2 shares of TCS you can buy in 8 something rupees, right? So around 9,000 rupees will be spent in TCS, but 1,000 rupees is left, right? You can see over here, if you buy 7 shares of 1272, so 1272 into 7, that will be like just a few rupees you will be left, but some amount will be left, right? So in everything you are doing the minimum that you can buy, not the minimum, sorry, the maximum that you can buy, right? So that's why we did mat.floor over here, right? Mat.floor. This is the significance of mat.floor, because we want to take the floor value, right? We cannot take, if let's say the stock value that has come by dividing price, it is let's say 3.4. So you cannot buy 4 shares. You can buy 3 shares only. So that's why you want to come to the floor value. So that's why mat.floor we have done. But I think this was a good exercise. You now have got for the top 10 stocks that you picked. Let me run all again so that this irritating column is gone. Yeah. Enter the amount you want to invest. Let's say this time I invest 10 lakh. So 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit enter, and you can see 78 shares of Reliance you can buy, 22 shares of TCS you can buy, and L&T you can buy 25 shares. So this is a good one because now I can actually see how many shares I can buy for these 10 stocks individually, right? So it's up to you. If you want to pick more stocks because your portfolio size has now increased, you can remove 10 from here and you can actually work with the whole data frame, right? So this is up to you. This is how you want to experiment with this Python notebook. I hope you liked this first project. Now let's go to the second project. Okay, so now let's go ahead with the second project. So I'll copy this and let's scroll it down, paste it, and this will be project number 2, which will be value investing. Value investing. So value investing means, so if you go on Google and if you search for what is value investing, you find out that value investing is an investment strategy where an investor buys stocks that they believe are trading at a price significantly below their actual worth. That means, let's say currently the stock price of Reliance is 1272 rupees, but you think that the value for Reliance is still less. It should be 1500 rupees, right? So you would like to buy it at this amount, right? So that once it goes to its real value, you get some profit. Okay, so that's what value investing means. That means you, from some of the metrics that are provided in the market for that company, you try to predict the actual value of that stock, and based on that you take a decision whether to buy it or sell it. Okay, but what do I mean by the data? So this is the data. So if you go on Yahoo Finance, if you search for Reliance Industries, and if you go on the financials tab, then you can actually see there is a lot of data present for this Reliance stock, which is called an income statement, right? So if you go on the income statement, you can see there are certain values. So from these values, we are going to pick some of the values which are very critical, very significant for value investing. This is one strategy that we are going to build today, right? From these values, from these combinations, you can create your own algorithmic strategy also. And investment bankers, sorry, not the investment bankers, but yeah, they also, and the algorithmic traders and algorithmic developers, quant developers, they work with these values and they try to come up with their own algorithmic strategies and trading strategies, right? So in this project, in the second project, we are going to create one algorithmic strategy based on which we are going to pick some stocks which are good for us to invest at this moment. Okay, so basically, like if you have used small case, so if you go on small case, they have created some baskets, right? So if you go on small case, it's an Indian company. They actually create some, it's not sponsored by them, I'm just showing you an example. They actually create some baskets, right? So baskets of, let's say, high growth stocks, baskets of, let's say, low or high value stocks, right? Or good future stocks, something like that. So based on these algorithmic strategies and codes itself and logics itself, they are able to create such baskets. Okay, so let's go ahead, and from these values, I'm going to pick one value which is called PE ratio, price to earnings ratio. So if you search for it, price to earning, I think it is PE only, PE ratio. Okay, let me find it like this only. So this is price to earning. That means if my price of my stock is, let's say, 100 rupees, right, and earnings that the company is doing is, let's say, 1000 rupees, right? So what is the PE ratio? PE ratio is 100 upon 1000, that is 1 by 10, right? So my PE ratio will be 1 upon 10, which is 0.1, sorry, 0.1, right? This will be my PE ratio. But let's say the price is too high, right? Let's say the price is, let's say, 2000 rupees. Okay, but the earning is like only 1000 rupees. Okay, this is my price of a stock, right? But the earnings that the company is doing is only 1000 rupees. Then what is my PE ratio? My PE ratio will be 2, price upon earning. right? So my P ratio will be 2, right? That means the stock is high valued. Stock should not be at this price. Stock should be at lower price. So if your P ratio is less, that means the value is the stock is valued at a good price. It is at lower value, lower price. Okay, but if the price is too high and earnings are too less, that means the P ratio will be super high and it should not be bought, right? It is overvalued, right? It's overvalued, right? But it looks very simple, right? Now you will go ahead and just pick some stocks, find their P ratio, and you will start investing. No, it is not like that. P ratio does not work very good with negative values, because this P ratio can also be negative. We'll see in the example, right? In the Nifty 50 stocks also, we'll find some P values which are negative. Okay, so it doesn't work out. This algorithmic strategy won't work out if your P ratios are in negative value. Okay, so that's why we cannot just work with P values. We have to work with some other ratios also. So we are going to work with, I'm just going to write it over, P value, PV value, which is price to book value ratio. Then it is price to sales, PS, which is price to sales. That means what is the price, what are the sales that the company is doing. And next thing is enterprise value upon EBITDA, right? I'm going to tell you what this EBITDA is. Then the next thing will be enterprise value upon the gross profits. This value is actually not given in our Yahoo Finance response. So this value we may have to calculate on our own, this GP value, gross profits value. So these values we are going to use, and then we are going to find one main value, or we can say we can actually score the stock based on these 5 values. Now at the end, then we are going to sort the stocks based on that score, and then we'll pick top 10. So in the previous project, we just picked top 10 as per the market value. Okay, but now we are going to go ahead with value investing. Based on the stock's value, we are going to pick top 10, and then we are going to invest in that stock. Okay, sounds good? Okay, let's go ahead. Let me go to my VS Code. Let me create a file 02 value investing.ipynb, and to save time, I'll just copy this code, come over here, I'll paste it, and I'll hit enter. Okay, great. The next thing that we have to do is we have to again load our tickers. So I'll just copy this, come over here and paste this. Okay, these are the top 50 stocks. You can also go ahead with S&P 500, but that's up to you. I'm Indian. If I want to go ahead and invest as per my own strategy, I have to pick an Indian stock itself. Okay, so I have picked Nifty 50. Next thing is I will write a function that is going to fetch fetch values of stocks, and again this is going to take my tickers list, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all go inside every ticker for ticker in tickers, because we want to get the ticker info, right? We just don't want to get the download. If you just use the download function from Y Finance, you'll just get the open, high, low, close value. That you don't want in this. You want the financials data. So ticker in tickers, stock is equal to Yahoo Finance dot ticker, right? And just give it a ticker. Let's do this, right? And let's let me create a columns data. Let me create a data frame itself. So value columns is equal to, my columns will be, let me scroll down. Yeah, my columns are going to be, first will be ticker definitely. Next will be my latest price. So price. Then it will be P ratio. Then it is going to be PB ratio, price to book value ratio, PB ratio, price to sales value ratio, so PS ratio. Then it will be my enterprise value upon EBITDA, and then it will be EV upon gross profits, and then you create a data frame. So df is equal to, or let's say value df pd dot data frame with columns is equal to value columns. Okay, and over here in the stock, so this is a data frame in which I'm going to fill some values, but for now let's go ahead and see what value you actually get for Reliance stock. If we just try to find out for one stock so that I can show you how how you get the data. So Reliance is equal to yf dot ticker. Ticker for Reliance is reliance.ns, and you just print info. Okay, hit shift enter, and you can see this is the data that you have got. So Reliance address is this Mumbai, Nariman Point, zip code, country code, phone, fax, website, industry, oil, gas, refining and marketing. Then sector is energy sector. Long business summary, this is this. At the end you will also find some information on Geo. Full-time employees, okay, 347k. Okay, that is good. Company offices, Mukesh Ambani, and age 66, chairman, MD. You can also see all the information, and they have not shown this. So if I just say view as a scrollable element, now you will able to see all the data. So you can see I'm getting EBITDA margins, I'm getting financial currency, which is INR, revenue growth, earnings growth, operations cash inflow, returns on equity, debt equity, current ratio, P ratio, EBITDA is there. This we are going to use. What I'm scrolling actually. Yeah, I need to scroll this one. Okay. What I'm trying to find out is the PE ratio. Yeah, forward PE it should be. So forward EPS, trailing EPS, earnings. I'm trying to find out profit margins. Yes, market cap is there. Forward P. Yes, this is the P ratio of Reliance. Forward PV we need to work with. Okay, but okay, so all of the information you can see we get in this format. Now one by one we are going to go ahead in this JSON and pick for every stock for our list of 50 stocks. So let me just delete this one. We don't need it, right? And if you go ahead and yeah, let's continue working with the code, our main function. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to find out the price for this stock. So price will be equal to stock.history, stock.history period will be 1 day. So period will be 1 day, right? From this 1 day period, which price I want to find out? I want to find the closing price, last closing price. So I look at -1. Yeah, this should give me the price. The next thing that I want to get is the financials. So financials is equal to stock dot financials. The next thing that will be balance sheet, because some values will be in the balance sheet. Balance sheet is stock dot balance sheet, and some values will be in cash flow. Stock dot cash flow. Okay, I think this should be it. Cash flow. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, some values should be in this, some values should be in info itself. Let's see where do we get right. Otherwise we can again open the JSON and see where are our values. So first thing as I told, we need to get the PE ratio. So with every value I'm also going to show their main Google definition. PE ratio. Price earnings ratio. Price earning ratio is a multiple. It's a ratio of share price of a stock, that means the price of a stock, to its earning per share. EPS, earning per share, that means how much earning the stock gets per share. Okay, P ratio is one of the most popular valuation metrics of stocks. It provides indication whether a stock is its current market price is expensive or cheap. If it is cheap, you will buy it. If it is expensive, you will sell it, right? Or if it is expensive, you might not be able to buy it. Okay, so that information we can get from the PE ratio. Okay, So PE ratio of a stock will be stock.info. We saw that it is in the info object itself. So stock.info dot get, and the name of that key, what was that? It was forward PE. So forward PE, right? And if it is not found, then take null value, np.nan, not applicable, sorry, null value. Okay. Okay, next is book value, price to book value ratio. Let's find out its PB ratio. Price book ratio, it's a popular financial metric that helps investors to evaluate the company's value. It compares the market price to the book value per share, right? So if you're a CA, then you might be knowing what is a book value, but it's a value, right? So let's find out what is a book value. It might be something related to book. I'm not a CA, I'm an engineer, so I don't know what is a book value. What is book value of a share? Book value is a metric that measures a company's equity per share. Equity per share. Okay, got it. Is calculated dividing company's net asset value, shareholder equity, by the total number of outstanding shares. Okay, a bit difficult for me to understand, but I think this is a because as per my research, this is a good ratio, PB ratio. So let's find out. Okay, so yeah, sometimes we have to go with the flow, right? Because this is all research topic, right? PB ratios, P ratios. You can go ahead and research as much as you want. But for an engineer, for a coder, for now, I'm not saying that for your lifetime. For now, just understand this is a metric which is important for finding the value of a company. Okay. Stock.info.get. Let me open Copilot, otherwise it is taking a lot of time to code, right? So I'll enable completions, right? So it should be price to book. That's the key. Then it is price to sales ratio. Price to sales ratio is a financial metric that measures a company's market valuation related to its total sales. Okay, so this is related to something sales, calculated by dividing the company's market capitalization by its total revenue over the specific period. Okay, let's say for 1 year, for 10 years, right? 12 months, so 1 year. Okay, so this is a good value because it actually finds out whether this company is doing some significant sales or not. That's a good metric, right? So price to sales ratio. Trailing 12 months. Yes, we'll take it for 12 months itself. Period we need to find out. Okay. Then it is EV, that is enterprise value. So enterprise value, it is stock.info.get enterprise value. This is how the info.get enterprise value. This is the key in the JSON. If you search in the JSON, this is the key that you will find out. What is the enterprise value? Let's find out. It is enterprise value. Enterprise value is the company's total value calculated by adding its market capitalization to its total debt and subtracting its cash and cash equivalents. Okay, so we take the market capitalization calculated adding the market. Okay, we take the market capitalization and we add it in the total debt. Okay, so market capitalization plus the debt of the company and minus cash and cash equivalents. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, this is the formula. Great. Next is we need to take this enterprise value and we have to find some ratios from this enterprise value. For first ratio will be EV to EBITDA. EBITDA. And if you go again, what is EBITDA? Earnings before interest. Okay, so let's say a company earned 1,000 rupees. Okay, so earnings before interest. So you will have some interest, you will pay some taxes, you will pay some depreciation. Yes. Let's open this one. Okay, that's a very big article. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization is a measure of core corporate profitability. Okay, I think it is for finding the core profitability of a company. Okay, whether the company is profitable or not. I think in Shark Tank also I've heard a lot about this. Like if it is negative, then it's bad. If it is positive, it's good. Something like that. Okay, so if it is calculated by adding interest, tax, depreciation and amortization expenses to net income. What is amortization? I don't know. So let's find out. Meaning, that's how you actually learn. Okay, it's not bad that hey, I'm searching on the internet. Yeah, I'm searching on the internet. That's not bad. That's how you learn. Okay, the term amortization refers to the process of gradually paying off a debt such as mortgage or loan. Okay, got it. Okay, I think you can learn more about this also, what is amortization, but this is a value and we have to find EV to EBITDA. Okay, so for finding EV to EBITDA, you have to first find out EBITDA. So EBITDA stock.info.get EBITDA, and now you will find out, and it is not caps, it will be small itself because JSON key will be small, right? Okay, now you'll find EV to EBITDA. So EV EBITDA is equal to EV upon EBITDA if EV and EBITDA, else none. Okay, else it will be null. Now you have to find out the gross profit. So gross profit, it's not there in the JSON. So this I already know that gross profit is not there in the JSON. You have to actually calculate the gross profit. So for that you need to know the gross profit formula. Gross profit formula. Gross profit revenue minus COGS, cost of goods, basically COGS means cost of goods sold, upon the revenue into 100. So that is, I guess, is the gross profit. Okay, so let's do that. Let's find out this thing, and I think there is a formula with gross margin also to find out gross profit formula with gross margin, because gross margin is actually there in that JSON for that ticker. Gross margin is equal to revenue minus COGS upon revenue. So okay, so gross profit, you can see over here, gross margin is equal to gross profit upon revenue into 100. Okay, so if you have to find out gross profit, I'm focusing on gross margin because gross margin is there in the JSON, right? But gross profit is not there, so you have to calculate gross profit. So it is gross margin into total revenue. Okay, gross profit, yes, let's do that. So gross profit will be gross margins, yes, np.nan into stock.info.get revenue. Perfect. Yes, revenue will be there, not with this key, it will be total revenue. So basically what I'm doing, you can see over here, gross profit I'm calculating, gross margin into total revenue. Okay, so this should be your gross profit. Now you have to find out EV gross profit, EV to gross profit. Okay, so enterprise value upon gross profit will be your value. Now you have to start inserting these values in your data frame for every ticker. Value df is equal to value df, you have already defined, right? Value df, you have created an empty data frame with these columns. Now it is suggesting me that I should start appending the values. So value df is equal to value df dot append, and here it is. Ticker, you will add the ticker value. So you're just adding a key value pair, right? You're just adding an object. So ticker, price, P ratio, PV ratio, PS ratio, EVS, EBITDA, EVGP, and that's it. Okay, and then finally you will come out of this for loop and you will return your value df. But we have not yet found the score. Score also you have to find out. So let's find a score once we have got the data frame, final data frame. So let me go over here. Let me just hit enter. This is a function. Now tickers list we have to create. Tickers.list, it will be tickers dot values dot to list. Okay, and if I just show you my tickers list, if I show you, this is my tickers list for all the stocks, right? This I'm getting from here. You can see tickers data frame, this. Okay, let me delete this. tickers list ticker. Okay, and then I'm going to provide value, the df that I'm going to get from my function, fetch values of stocks and tickers, and let's see what we get in the df. Let's hit enter. There is an error. What is the error? Data frame append. Okay, yeah, this actually Copilot suggested me, so let's remove this because you have to use can you pause the video and tell me in the comment section what you have to use over here, which pandas function you are going to use over here. You're right, you have to use pd.series function, pd.series. So it will be like this, append pd.series, and over here give me the value. Okay, I think this is good. Value calls, yes, I think this is good. Hit shift enter. Now what is the issue? Tickers at tickers list. Okay, yes, this is wrong. Dot values. Now what is wrong? What is wrong? List index must be integers or slices, not string. Okay, my mistake. Tickers list. Now we have to run all because my tickers data frame is now hampered. So run all. Again, an issue is over here. Value stocks, ticker. Data frame object has no value append. Value df.append it should be, because it takes a value. It takes a pd.series. So this is the issue that I'm getting. I think it's a Python version issue, that it is not finding the append function. So let me actually remove this append function. I think this latest Python version is not having this append, pandas version. So let me remove it, and value df, I can use the lock actually. So dot lock last location, so length of value df is equal to, then you can provide your list. So these values will be filled in that particular column, right? I think this should be good now. Where return value df, yes, this should be good. So now if I hit enter, shift enter, this should give me the data frame. It will take time because there are like 50 stocks. Let's wait. Till here, if you are there, if you are still watching the video and you have completed first project, take a screenshot or take a video and put it on LinkedIn and tag me. I'll repost and I'll congratulate you that you are really serious about learning this, right? So do that. If you have completed first project and you are still you are over here, then you are really learning something good today. You can see we have got the value. So ticker Reliance, price is 1272, P ratio is 20, PB ratio is 2.1, price to sales ratio is 1.88, EV to EBITDA is 12.7, and I'm not able to because of the camera. EV to GS is 6.25, and some of the null values are also there. We need to take care of these null values. Let's do that. But till here our DMart also price is 3652, P ratio is 61. Yeah, P ratio is 61. Okay, it is like very high P ratio. It should not be this much high. Okay, great. Now let's do one thing. Let's remove the null values. So df, first of all, I'll write down all my columns. Can I take my columns from here itself? Yeah, these are my columns, right? So I'll take these columns. Value columns, and I'm going to say for call in value calls, df at column is equal to, remove this, df at column dot fill na with df at column dot mean, not mean, yeah, mean is a good one to get started, to fill the null values, because they are very less. But if you want to know how many null values are there, you can directly do df.info. Okay, I forgot the brackets. df.info, and you can see 8 null values in EV EBITDA and 6 null values in EVGP. Okay, rest are all filled, which is good. So there are very less. So I think mean is a good metrics for filling the null values. So I think this will be good. And if we just see our df.info again after this. Okay, what is the issue? Okay, why? Okay, sorry. I don't have to take price and ticker. Just these values are enough. Okay, so my mistake. Now let's see. Now you can see all the null values are filled. Great, which is good. Okay, great guys. So basically now we have removed all the null values from my data frame and I'm having all the values. The next step is these are like different values, right? They are separate values. Now I cannot take decision on values individually. Like I cannot just pick P ratio and make a decision whether I should go ahead with this stock or not. I cannot just pick EV upon EBITDA and just make a decision that I should go ahead with this stock or not. I need a value which is something like mean of all of these values, or something like combination or metrics that actually showcases or takes into consideration all of these values, and then I get a final score so that I can sort it and then I pick the top 10 stocks. Okay, so this is my task, but before that I would like to take some time and show you what exactly I do. So I'm working as a founding engineer in Bytedriven. Bytedriven is a talent screening software, AI powered talent screening software. So I work there as a founding engineer, and I'm also a tech YouTuber. So you already know me that I'm also a tech YouTuber. I create content that will be relevant in 2030 also. So I'm trying to make people ready for 2030 so that whatever they build, whatever the products that they are building, whatever the stuff they are coding, it should be relevant in 2030. You should not be learning, or you should not be doing the stuff which might not be relevant because of AI and other technologies, right? So that's what I do on my YouTube channel, and on Instagram also I post some good content, especially in the short content format, short videos content format. So this will definitely be useful for us. And if you want that I get on a meet with you, just go on my LinkedIn and click on this book an appointment, and I'll be happy to jump on a call with you. So this was about me. I just wanted to show you like what exactly I've been doing, or who am I, right? So if you are coming on my channel for the first time. Okay, great. Now the next thing that we should do is we should start working on a new column which will be called score. I'm going to call it as score, and basically that score is going to consider all of these values, and then we can do sorting, and then we'll pick the values. So basically I'm going to take help of percentiles. Now what is percentile? So if you have given a JEE exam, right, IIT JEE exam, so there also nowadays we get percentile. Okay, so one is percentage and another thing is percentile. Okay, so if you have scored, let's say if you have scored 80 marks upon 100, right? So this is your percentage, right? This is your percentage that you scored 80% marks, right? But this does not show you how intelligent you are, because might be everyone in the class would have scored 80, right? So this is a good metric that you scored a good score. 80 marks out of 100 are good marks, but this does not show me where you actually land in a group of people, right? Might be everyone is scoring above 80, so you are the last in your class, right? So this does not give me some significant information, right? So that's why we have percentiles. What percentile does, so if I say that you are above 80% of your class, so that means your percentile will be 80 percentile. That means you are above 80% of all the students in your class, right? So you are in the top 20 percentile. Sorry, you are in the top 20%. So that means you are a good student, right? So let's say in similar way your percentile is 99.9. That means you are the topper, right? Because you passed 99.9 people in your class, 99.9 students in your class. So you are super intelligent, right? So that's why we are going to take help of this percentile score, and for every column that we have P ratio, we have PB ratio, we have PS ratio, we are going to find the percentiles, so that for all of these stocks, I have all of these 50 stocks, right? I want to find out the top 10 stocks that I can pick based on these values. Okay, so I want to find out which are the top 10 stocks which are in the top 1 percentile, right? Or which are the top 10 stocks, right? Which are like above all the rest 40 stocks, right? So that's why I'm utilizing percentile in this case, because I want to find the toppers, right? I want to find the toppers of this 50 stocks list, right? I am not considering, I don't want to consider the rest of the 40 stocks, right? Because their values, they might not be as good as the first top 10, the top 10 stocks, right? So that's what I want to do, right? I'm sorry like if I confused you, but I am just trying to find out the stocks which are in the top percentile, okay? And I'll pick top 10, okay? That's what I want to do, okay? I think now it is easy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new data frame, or we can actually add in the same data frame some new columns. So my new columns will be new or significant metrics, I can say, or I can say percentile metrics. Percentile metrics will be equal to some new column names. So new columns names will be PE ratio percentile, okay, and this will be mapped to PE ratio. So basically I'm going to map my existing columns to their percentile columns. So what I have right now, I have PE ratio, right? Let me just check it once. Yes, I have PE dash ratio. So PE ratio will be mapped to PE ratio percentile, okay? Like this, other stocks, PB ratio will be PB ratio percentile, PS ratio, and that means the price to sales ratio will be mapped to price to sales ratio percentile, EV upon EBITDA percentile, EV upon GP percentile. How do you actually calculate the percentile? That I'm going to show right now, right? So it will take, so you can see, let's say PE ratio. So this is the PE ratio column, right? So it will find out, it will consider the whole column of PE ratio. This whole column it is going to consider and then find out what are the top 10 stocks in this PE ratio, okay? So let's go ahead and I'll show you the formula. Don't worry about that. Okay, now let's go through all of these values. Let's pick key value pair one by one, okay? Because I have to go inside this column PE ratio, find out its value, then find out its percentile, and then whatever percentile I've got, I will be putting it in this column for that row, okay? So just showing you one example. If this is my data frame, I'll go with the Reliance first row, I'll pick my PE ratio. Then for this whole column, because for finding out the percentile, what is percentile in simple words? I have to find out if Reliance P ratio is 20.004, then how many P ratios in this column are below 20.004? That will be the percentile for Reliance. Okay, so I have to go pick this value, find out the percentile for 20.004 in this P ratio column and put it in a new column which will be called P ratio percentile. Okay, which is over here. So I'll be running a for loop for metric means this P ratio, comma percentile means this value, metric comma percentile in percentile metrics dot items. So go and pick them one by one, and then for row in df dot index, or instead of that we can directly use a lambda function. So let's go with that. So df at percentile is equal to df at metric. Metric means P ratio value, that is 20.004 for Reliance, the first row. Metric dot apply, I'm just applying a lambda function, lambda x will be, so we have stats, so we already have imported stats. Okay, we have not, so let's import stats. It is in SciPy, so from SciPy import stats. Yes, this is good. SciPy is not there, so let's pip install SciPy. So let me open terminal, pip 3 install SciPy, let it install. Okay, great, this is done. So I'll put this down, I'll hit shift enter. Now it should run successfully. Yes, perfect. Now I'll come over here and I'll use stats dot percentile of score. Yes, this is the function which is it is recommending to me. Stats dot percentile of score, which score? df at metric comma x. Okay, so this will give me the percentile, and at the end I also need to divide it by 100 so that it gives me the fraction value. Okay, this will be my score, my P percentile. Okay, P ratio percentile. Okay, so I already explained how I'm going to find out the percentile. pick the value, find out the percentile for that value in the complete column, and then fill it in the new column. So that's what it is doing. Okay, so now let's see what is our new df.head looking like. Perfect. So you can see it has found we have these columns, and it has already created P ratio percentile, PB ratio percentile, then PS ratio percentile, EV EBITDA percentile, and EVGP percentile. Okay, now all of these values are now important for me. Okay, now all of these values are important for me because all of these values are somehow impacting the value, right? So these all values are going to somehow impact the final price of the stock. Okay, and based on these values I can actually do the value investing. So again, one more column is needed, which is a mean of all of these values, and based on that score I'm going to sort this complete data frame and pick the top 10. Okay, because still I have 5 values, right? I cannot see all of these 5 values and make a decision, right? So I need one final value. So let's do that. So again, from statistics I'm going to import mean, and from this mean I'm going to say df at score. I'm just going to call, or we can call it as value score. Just a second. Yeah, value score is equal to mean percentile. Okay, this is also correct, but let's use data frame. So df at for value just running a for loop. Okay, simple for loop in one single line. So what I'm doing, df at value for value, I'm going to go inside my metrics column, metrics dot values dot apply the mean function, dot mean function with axis is equal to 1. I think my column name is not metrics, this is percentile metrics. Okay, for value score, df for value in metrics dot values, this should be good. So let's find out the mean. So from statistics import mean, and df at, let me close this thing, otherwise it will just write every code and we won't be able to learn anything. Okay, so df at value score, you can enable the Copilot. I'm not against Copilot, I use it 24/7, but you enable it once you have already learned it. Okay, so try to write code once, and after that, once you have learned that concept, then you can disable it. Df at value score, which is a new column, is equal to df at pick the value for value in percentile metrics dot values. So what I'm doing, I'm going inside this percentile metrics and I'm picking these values one by one, because I have to find out the mean of these columns, not the columns, but the actual row value for all of these 5 columns. Okay, so basically doing like this, 0.38 plus 0.22 plus 0.18 plus 0.26 plus 0.24 divided by the number of metrics which I took, that is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's what I have to do. Metrics dot values, this will be like this, and then mean axis will be 1. Okay, so now df dot, let's do df, and you can see my final score. Let me go down, and you can see these are the final value scores. So Reliance 0.256, for the next stock it is 0.668, then 0.580. Okay, so these are the scores. Now I'll quickly sort my df. So df is equal to df dot sort values by value score. Yes, this should be good. Ascending will be false because I need it in descending order, and then in place is not needed because we have already said df is equal to this, and then I can say df, and you should be able to see Infosys is at the top. So Infosys stock is a very good stock for value investing. If you go by value investing, algorithm. 0.920 is the value score for this. Okay, very optimistic values, but okay, great. Nice. Now you can just say df.head, pick 10 values, hit enter, and you can also say one more thing. You can see these indexes are not right, so I'll say df is equal to df dot head 10 reset index. I'm not sure if it is there in the head column. Let's see, df. Yeah, it's not there. Reset index is not there in head. But basically, you can just reset the index, right? Once you will pick the top 10, you can reset the index, and they will be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you can see these are the top 10 stocks which you should pick for value investing. Okay. So now what you can do, you can again have the same thing which we did over here, that you define your portfolio value like this, right? Enter the amount, position size, you can find out, and then distribute your money, that is 1 lakh, 2 lakh, any amount, for these 10 stocks. So earlier what we were doing, we were picking the top 10 stocks using market value. Okay, so market cap, sorry, right? So that is not a very good or the only metrics that you should consider for picking the stocks. But this one, we have considered literally 5 financial values, and now we have picked the top 10 stocks. So these are actually very better picks, right? And now distribute your money between these 10 stocks. So that's your homework. So this was our second project where we learned how to write an algorithm, Python script or a model, Python model, if you want to do value investing in trading using Python. Okay, so I hope you liked this project. Okay guys, so this is the time when we start with the third project. Okay, so let's go back to Excalibur, and over here my third project. So let me pick this, and now let's talk about our third project. So project number 3, and project 3 is dividend based investing. Let's say you are actually having 1 lakh rupees and you only want to invest in such companies which gives good dividend, right? So you have taken out this money to just put in dividend, good dividend companies, right? Who gives good dividend. Dividend means it's like whether in a quarter means like 3 months. In like 3 months they have earned some profits. Let's say they earned 100 rupees. So those 100 rupees they try to distribute among all of their shareholders, right? So if you also hold a stock of Google or Amazon, and if they have got good profits or their earnings are good, then they distribute some dividends across their shareholders, and you will also get some money at the end of a quarter. Okay, great. So dividend based investing. So there are certain numerics or metrics that are there in the financials of a company, which we are going to pick, and we are going to create a Python script and Python model, which will give me 10 stocks which are good for dividend based investing. For this one, I won't recommend for this video purpose, we'll just use Nifty 50. But if you really want to pick good stocks based on dividends, then don't just give Nifty 50, right? In Nifty 50, you might not have a lot of companies which gives good dividend. Okay, so for Nifty 50, you should for dividend based investing, at least give it 500 to 1000 Indian stock stickers, right? And let it find out the top 10 for you, or top 20, 30 for you, right? Don't just depend on Nifty 50. Nifty 50 is a good small list for us for this learning purpose. Okay, great. Now let's go back to Yahoo Finance, and if you go and just search for Reliance or any other stock, go to statistics, right? And inside the statistics, you will find dividends and splits, right? So these are some of the values which are given, right? So from these values, we are going to pick a few values, and based on that, we are going to find out a score, and based on that score, we are going to sort the data frame, and then we are going to find the top 10 values. So in the last project, we found the percentiles, we found the mean, and then based on that mean, we got the score. In this one, we are going to use weighted sum. Basically, we are going to give some static weights to all of these columns, and based on those weights, we are going to find a score. Because maybe like payout ratio has more significance than dividend, than 5-year average dividend yield, right? So based on that, you can change your weights, and then you can find your own, or you can create your own algorithm also, right? So this is our whole project. So this is called dividend based investing. So I'm going to create a new file which will be 03. This is a third project. All of these projects might look similar, but they are different algorithms, and this is only the task that you have to do if you are an algorithmic developer or algorithmic trader in a company on the engineering side, not on the trading side. Okay, you have to design and code algorithms. So 03 dividend based investing, and all of these videos I'm creating for learning purpose. I'm not saying that I'm a very pro algorithmic trader or developer. So if you are a pro and if you're watching this, pardon me. So I'm just creating for learning purpose for those who are new to this field and they want to learn it using Python. Okay, so that's for those who I'm creating this video. Okay, so for 03 dividend based investing, so just go ahead and at the top, let's go ahead and import the same libraries, code, this, then again code, and also import our tickers. So this, and let's hit this, shift enter. Let's wait. Okay, this is done and this is done. So we are going to start with Nifty 50 itself, but as I told, feel free to pick 500,000, 10,000, not 10,000. Indian NSE has 5,500 stocks only. So give at least 1,000 stocks. Okay, if you are really want to get some good results. Great. So okay, so these are my tickers. Now we are going to use weighted score model, or weighted score model, as I told, in which we are going to first of all finalize the 5 values which we are going to consider, and all of those 5 columns I'm going to assign some weights. So let me put a markdown which says weighted scoring model for finding the final score. Okay, great. So what we have to do, what are my columns? So I have to define my column. Let me define a function which is going to give me a data frame finally. So I need a function, as we are creating a function in every script. You can see we are creating a main function, def fetch value of stocks. Similarly over here also I'm going to create a function which will be called def fetch create dividend df, create dividend data frame. Okay, give it tickers, and inside this I'm going to define my columns. So columns I'm getting actually from over here itself. Let me write down the column names. I've already put in front of me. So ticker will be my first column, dividend yield will be my second column, dividend yield in percentage, because over here you can see the value dividend yield. Okay, it's not there. I think this, yeah, forward annual dividend, yeah, only this value I think we are going to pick up. Annual dividend rate, yeah, this is rate. Yield we need to find out. Forward annual dividend yield, yes, I think that's one we should pick up. Okay, then the dividend rate for sure. Then definitely we need the payout ratio, which is over here. Payout ratio 9.96%. So we have payout ratio. This ratio will also be in percentage. So let's write down percentage so that if tomorrow anyone else is reading our file, they should also be able to understand. Then definitely we are given some values of 5-year average dividend yield. This is a very important value. So we are going to consider this value for sure. So 5-year average dividend yield. So this means what's the average dividend yield that the stock is giving in from the last 5 years. Okay, so this is important, and this will definitely be percentage. And then we need the earning growth percentage. Okay, earning growth, this will also be percentage. Okay, so let me go back. Yeah, I think we have taken everything. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and create our data frame. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an empty data frame for now. Dividend data frame is equal to pd dot data frame, and my columns are going to be these columns. Okay, so let me write down this correct spelling. And then for stock in my tickers, I'm going to go inside the list. For stock and tickers, we are going to find out the ticker value. So ticker is equal to yf dot ticker. This you already know now. Ticker, and pass your stock value. So from this we are going to get our info. So info will be ticker dot info. Yes, this is good. Now based on this information, we are going to fetch all our values which we need. So first one will be dividend yield. Dividend yield, which I'm going to put in this column, dividend yield. So dividend yield is equal to info dot get dividend yield. This is the key name. And again, as I told you just a few minutes back, how you can do it, you can just take one stock, print its JSON, and find out the key for this. So dividend yield is the key for this. I've already practiced this and I already have in front of me, so that I can save your time and we don't, you know, always go ahead and just waste time in seeing how JSON looks. Okay, so dividend yield is the key for that, and if it is found none, or if it is not found, then take null value, and we can take care of the null values later on. Okay, so finding out the percentage, so multiply it by 100 because this will come as a float value. And yes, I think this is good if I get this. And just for sake of exception handling, if my if info dot get dividend yield, just paste it, else you can consider np.nan. So this is my first one, which is dividend yield. Next one is my dividend rate. So I'm going to call it as dividend rate is equal to info dot get. Let me enable Copilot so that it can save our time. Enable completions. Dividend rate np.nan, and this will not be a percentage because this is a rate, so we don't need the percentage for this. This can stay as it is. Then the next thing is payout ratio. Payout ratio np.nan. This is percentage. Okay. Next is your 5-year average. So this value already saw, it is there in Yahoo Finance. So 5-year average dividend yield. 5-year average dividend yield. Yes, I have confirmed this is correct, and this will also be in percentage. So this is also right. Okay, great. Okay, and then the final earnings growth. So earnings growth is also there in my Yahoo Finance. Earning growth with the field name as earning growth, and this will also be in percentage. Info earning growth. Yes. So these are all like 5 similar lines with different field names, right? So you can just write once and change the values one by one. Great. So now the next thing is we have to insert these values in my data frame. So df dot dividend df dot append. You saw that append is not working with my Python version. So I'm going to just go over here and see how we did that. I think we directly inserted the values using lock. Yes, over here. So this is okay. So over here also dividend df dot lock at length, that means the last row value, dividend df at dividend df. Yes, length of dividend df is equal to stock means my ticker, dividend yield my percentage, rate is rate, payout ratio. So just filling the values as a row. Okay, so this makes sense, right? Now the next thing that we have to do is find out the score for this. For that we are going to use our algorithm, which will be weighted score. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it in the same function so that we can finally return the dividend df. Now at this point of time we have got our data frame with dividend information. Dividend information. Okay, great. Now we have to go inside every column, dividend yield, dividend rate, every column we have to go inside. We don't have to go inside ticker, so I'll just copy these values because we only need to go inside these values and find a score based on the weighted score. So for that, I'm also going to define my weights. So for every column, how many weights I want to give. Okay, so I'm going to define numeric columns and paste these values. Okay, so these are my numeric columns, and I'm going to define my weights for all of these values. So for dividend yield, my weight is 0.3. So this I already did practice about this. So for that 0.3, and I also searched on the internet like how much weight we can give to dividend yield. So 0.3 you can give to dividend yield, then 0.2 you can give to dividend rate. Payout ratio usually takes 0.2. Then you can take 5-year average dividend as 0.2. Yes, that is correct. And earnings growth, I can see it as 0.1. Okay, so these are the weights, but as per your results, right? So this is all on hit and sorry, not hit, but just try it, right? Try it out and don't try out with the future values, right? Let's say you want to find out the dividend for the 5th year. So take 5 years back data, take the 4 years data, right? And then find out it for the 5th year, so that you already know the dividend values for the 5th year, right? So take 1 year previous values, right? Don't take the current year values, right? So that you can actually test your model. So, and based on your model results, just modify these values so that you can actually get the optimal solution. Not the optimal solution, but near to correct solution. Okay. And these will be new columns. So let's call them as normalized, 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 normalized. And yes, we are also going to apply normalization technique where you take a big value or values on different scales and you normalize them in a scale of 0 to 1, right? So that it becomes easier for us to compare. Okay, now we only need to run a for loop for column in my numeric columns, for columns in my numeric columns. So for column in numeric columns, and you have to go inside all of these columns, right? And you have to find out the normalization score. Okay, for payout ratio, the normalization score will be inverse. So how to find out the normalization score? So let's go ahead on my Excali draw, where it is. Yes. So for finding out the normalization score, it will be value, whatever value it is for that metric, for that row, for that stock, minus minimum of that column upon, so it is like this, minimum upon maximum from that column minus minimum from that column. So this is how you will find out the normalization score for that metric, for that row. Okay, so for inverse, if a metric is inversely proportional, like payout ratio is inversely proportional, okay, so for that thing you will just do 1 minus, because you just have to find out the score between 0 to 1. So for, if you want to inverse it, then it will be 1 minus. Okay, great. So if score is 0.7, then inverse proportional score will be 0.3. That's how it works. Okay, great. So for column in numeric columns, your dividend DF, my dividend DF at what we can do, yeah, numeric columns, dividend yield, normalized. Yeah, we are just adding normalized, right? So we have to fill the normalized value, normalized column values. So we did dividend DF at my column plus empty space, then normalized, as it is suggesting, because this is the value which I need to fill. This is the column name for which I am filling the value, normalized score, right? So this will be, but this will be different for payout ratio. So if my column is equal to payout ratio, then do this, normalized is equal to 1 minus, this is correct, dividend df at column, dividend df at column, this will be 1. Okay, let's do 1 minus later on, otherwise it might confuse you. Dividend df at column value minus dividend df at column minimum. So this is how it is done, minimum. So this is like one value which you have got upon maximum from that column and minimum from that column, right? So this is suggesting us the right thing. So maximum from that column, and let me scroll up. Yeah, so that's how I'm showing to you. So it is column value minus the minimum from that column upon maximum minus minimum. Now for whole of this, for the complete of this, just do 1 minus for payout ratio. Okay, but for rest of the things, rest of the columns, else it will not be 1 minus. You can see everything will remain the same. So this is your normalized value for that matrix. And let's do one thing, let's keep these weights for the next task, right? And let's return the dividend df over here itself. Okay, let's return the dividend df over here itself. Let me run this. Okay, and let's put weights over here for the next task. But over here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to find out my tickers list. So tickers list is equal to tickers at ticker dot values dot to list, right? And dividend df is equal to create dividend df tickers list and then print the dividend df. Let's hit enter. Let's see what we get. Okay, great. We have got the data. Let me scroll to the right, and there are some null values which we are going to take care of. So you can see for Reliance, payout ratio was 9.96, 5-year 44, earning growth was minus 4.8, dividend yield normalizes 0.03, dividend rate normalizes 0.036, payout ratio is 0.05, 5-year this, and earning growth normalizes 0.109. So this is my data. Now we have to find out one score column, right, which will be multiplying these values with their individual weights, right? The weights we have defined for every column, right? For dividend yield normalizes 0.3. So we are going to multiply 0.3 with this value plus weight of dividend rate normalized with this value plus this. So like this. So weighted multiplication sum, right? And then whatever value we are going to get, that will be our score for this complete row. And then we can use sorting. So these are my weights basically. So these are my weights. Now I have to go inside these weights, right? So I'll just, we can directly use normal one line function, which will be dividend df at dividend score. Let's call it as dividend score. Dividend score is equal to dividend df, pick every column for column in dividend df, no, not dividend df, it will be weights dot keys, weights. Okay, yeah, it will be column because we need to pick this value. So it is a value in the keys. So weights dot keys. Okay, so weights dot keys. We need to multiply the value. For every list. Yes, for every list item. So it will be list of. Yes, it will be list of weights dot values, which is 0.3, 0.2. So I'm picking the weight values now. Weights dot values. Then you finally add them. Dot sum. Finally do the sum of the row data, right? So first of all, what you did, you picked the column name. For that column name, you picked the weight, right? You multiplied it with the value, and finally, after all that multiplication thing, you just added all the value, and that will be your score. That's it. Then do dividend df. So let's say we have to find out the dividend score for Reliance. So dividend score for Reliance is 0.0482. Yes, that's what it is, right? Yes, you'll be thinking, if you're adding everything, why it is like less than this one? Because we're also multiplying it with my weights, which are again in the range from 0 to 1, and some of the values are also negative. You can see earnings growth is negative. So you might be thinking that if you're adding at the end some data, why it is coming even less than this column? Because all of these weights that we are having, they're in the range of 0 to 1. So they're fractions, right? These are fractions. These are not whole numbers, right? So that's why your dividend score will also come in the range from 0 to 1. Okay. Now let's apply sorting. So df is equal to df dot sort values from dividend score, ascending is false, and df dot head 10. Let's pick the top 10 values. df is dividend df. So like this, like this. So these are the top 10 stocks that you should consider investing if you are going ahead with dividend mindset. Coal India, Indian Oil Corporation, I guess. I'm not sure about this, but BPCL, Hero MotoCorp, that is Hero Motor Corporation, ONGC, then Power Grid, Tech Mahindra, Tata Steel, HCL Tech, ITC, Indian Tobacco Company. Okay. So these are the top 10 stocks as per the dividend score. Now you can again use equal weights to distribute your portfolio value among these 10 companies equally, right? Or in the ratio. So for that also you can use weights and you can distribute as per your choice. But main motive of this project is done. Okay, one more thing. Okay, one homework for you. We forgot to remove the null values. You can see there are some null values over here. So you have to go ahead and somewhere over here, before finding out the weights, fill the DF values wherever there are null values with the mean of that column, which is very easy and we already done in the previous project, right? So do that and then find out this thing. And till here, if you're following, take a screenshot of this third project and put it on LinkedIn or Instagram on story or in post and tag me that, hey Akshit, whatever homework you're doing or whatever you're teaching, I'm following and here I am. Okay, so that I can also feel I can also get some proud moments. Okay, great. So this was our third project. I hope you liked it. So I hope you like this video, and in the next upcoming videos, I'm going to bring more fintech projects. If you want me to make a specific project in the fintech industry, do let me know. I have planned technical indicators project in the next video. So if you like this topic, let me know in the comment section. Thank you and keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.